You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are champs. Yeah. Rolls out to Freedom Park, rocking pink and black. Official tissue in the 305, bounty full of grapes. The Battered Fan with Chris and Dan dropping hot takes. Messi and the Herons start the season with a star on the crest. So 29 fan bases can cry, cause we the best. Sign homegrowns like Noah, Frey and Ruiz, replacing goats with greats. Yeah, Miles got the cheese and he called it. Freedom to dream was the backbone. From Lockhart to Miami, it feels good to be at home. Multiple times a week on YouTube and audio. Take the time to subscribe, like and share the show. So check and chat, grab your MLS cup and coming. No question about it, I'm ready to get a star again.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 498 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
First win in O-Town. Fantastic way to win. I mean, just Messi celebrating in front of the Orlando wall just summarizes it all.
You know what? Before I get into the game, I kind of want to know where everybody was at halftime, because I am sure that half of the chat, Chris included, saying, clear out, this team is done, this team sucks, blah, blah, blah. Tell me, where were you at halftime?
Well, all right, but that has nothing to do with anything. You're offensively, we did a complete transformation. Like,
well, you know what? Offensively, I felt like offensively we were pretty decent in the first half. Also,
we were okay. I'm not saying,
but I wish we could have had a halftime show, so I could have heard everybody's dumbass remarks at halftime. I'm annoyed because I know how overreacting everybody is. Everybody's so quick to overreact.
Danny,
just let shit play out.
The defense was still garbage. One of the two goals that we allowed are still Dane St. Clair's fault. The only difference that happened at halftime is we took out Noah Allen and brought in Silvetti, who we know is a problem on offense. So obviously that's going to give us a complete injection on the offensive side. So, like, I don't know what you're expecting of people like, oh, well, why is everybody panicking?
I know we're not going to get that, but I'm annoyed because I kind of wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear everybody overreact. Oh, my God, this team sucks. Oh, my God. But I unfortunately didn't get to. Oh, Chris was on the Discord at halftime. Oh, I'm going to have to scroll up so I can read what you were saying.
I didn't jump in at halftime. I jumped in before halftime, by the way. Okay? But at the end of the day, our defense is still garbage. Dane St. Clair should have blocked the first shot.
He should have.
The only difference is the 4 goals that followed the half were all through our offense, and obviously nothing happened on our defensive end to complain about in the second half. Well, maybe a couple plays, but aside from that, nothing too glaring. I wasn't crying in the Discord at halftime.
I wish I could have heard you at halftime, man. I wish I could have.
Go back and look. I wasn't crying. I wasn't crying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
I really didn't say anything.
All right.
I mean, I put on Twitter. I know somebody who could have blocked a couple shots, but you know.
Yeah, me too. Drake Callender. So it was. It wasn't a bad first half, I thought. I got on with MLS Moves. I got on his halftime. He was doing a watch along. I got on with him at halftime, and I think he was surprised when I said I didn't think it was a bad half. I thought they looked pretty good. Poe made some great shots. Some great stops, because Orlando came out and did what LAFC did and what we expected them to do. They were going to play a low block. They started with the mid block. They scored the first game, and then they put the low block. They said, all right, try to break us down. And we knew that was coming. And then although it's still hard to break down a low block, that's why people play low blocks, they were doing a good job of finding spaces, filling in the gaps in that low block, and they were still creating opportunities, which was refreshing, right? Because we didn't see that last week, and that's without going out wide. Obviously, once Silvetti got in there, we were able to kind of spread out the defense and things got even better. But I thought that the first half wasn't as bad as I'm sure a lot of people thought.
I don't want to say that it was. I don't want to say it was bad, but, and I'm going to bring up a couple comments here because these are pretty accurate. King C is saying, aren't you a little worried that Mascherano keeps getting the original plan wrong and has to keep making adjustments at halftime? And then Jason Lunas Credit to coach, subbed out Allen for Salvetti, changed the
Mhm.
shape, and it worked.
Mhm.
Yes.
A lot of stuff to get into. So I'm excited for this
Yes.
show.
There's a lot. If you look at the game from beginning to end, there's a lot of meat to the bone on this. Like just holistically and in a lot of aspects.
First time that Miami wins in Orlando, which is awesome.
Yes.
I kind of wish that we could be at the stadium
what
so
a-
we can kind of start mocking them with the
comment by
overrated chant
Bigote.
that they were doing in the first half. Did you hear that?
Oh, yes. And then F
Overrated.
Miami.
Yeah.
And then
so I was like, oh man, I wish I was there so we could kind of just give it back. But
yeah.
it's
Shout out to Bigote with a nice comment here. And thank you for being a member. Much appreciated. For 2 months.
we're gonna have to add little we can add little emoji or like little icons next to the members. I'm gonna have to start doing it.
We got to start naming the members, Danny. That's like one of the requirements.
Yeah.
We're supposed to like name all the members, guys. We'll work on that. Okay. So work in progress. He says, do we see 3 in the back in the future? Interesting question.
I don't think that was 3 in the back. That was 4 in the back.
Well, in the end, no. In the second half, Bright at some points was brought back to play center back to assist.
Right, was the center back.
No, but then there was times where he would push up a little higher. It wasn't like always up and up at the top, or up in the middle or back at center back.
I felt like it was 4 in the back with Bright playing that center back role. Mikhail was playing the left back role.
Yeah. I think that Falcon was playing like the lone center back in the second half, with Bright coming to assist every so often.
Maybe that's not how I saw it. I thought they were just playing 4 in the back with Bright back there.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that saw it.
No, I'm sure.
Watching the game,
that's how it is with formations. Usually a lot of times people see different things, but I thought it was 4 in the back with Bright as a center back, and I thought that what's his face, Mikhail was playing out at left back. Clearly 3-4-3. Clearly 3-4-3.
Yeah. Ricky is saying that for sure. And then thank you, 89J Stubbs. Shout out to you, my friend. Messi, 70th free kick goal. Member for 2 months. Thank you, man. J Stubbs, 70th minute. You're on mute, by the way, but okay. I didn't know you were chewing. Sorry.
All right. What do you think of the atmosphere?
Dude, Orlando City brought the pain. And I didn't know Messi was going to play until like shortly before the game. And
Messi would play?
Well, I didn't know because obviously there was the whole deal that he didn't travel. It was like a whole incognito deal. Nobody knew if he was in Orlando or not. And then I guess today, people ended up finding out he was out there, and I'm sure Orlando fans sold their tickets, if not went to the game. It was a lot of pink.
Yeah.
Not as much as I anticipated.
Well, it's funny because I was texting John from Loud and Proud, and he said he was really annoyed because there were a lot of Messi chants out there.
That didn't come through the TV, and I was like, kind of listening. That's why
I was surprised when he told me that, because it doesn't come through on the TV. But he said that in the stadium he was annoyed because there were a lot of Messi chants.
I got to be honest. I'm kind of annoyed that Orlando is like pretty loud. Like you could hear their chants, even though you hate basic chants. Like you could hear them. They're loud.
The overrated and stuff.
Just that, and like the Orlando City, like it's so basic, but it's like it's perfect. Everybody gets involved on that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I am excited to talk about this game. So let's go.
Listen, Cynical Tube, Segovia Unlocked. You guys, all of you have been sleeping on Segovia. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but that guy's a certified banger. Like, we've been calling this. And then El Bigote said, I saw Danny on TV in his Orlando jersey at one point.
The yellow one. I was walking the yellow one with the purple accents.
Oh, you got some explaining to do, buddy. And Soccer Daddy's saying Segovia only works in 4-3-3. So, other than what did you think of the atmosphere?
I thought it was good. It was lively. I was really happy that Messi was playing in Orlando, so I knew that the Orlando fans would really be alive, right? They were dying to yell overrated and stuff like that. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great atmosphere.
Mitch is saying if we didn't win this game, Chris would have been unbearable tonight.
Oh yes, absolutely.
No, I wouldn't.
That's one of the things I said during the. That's one of because I was like I said I was with Will from MLS Moves at halftime, and he asked me how did I think the game was going to end. I was like, well, Miami's going to score at least 2. They're going to tie the game. And then I said, but if they don't and they lose, my post game is going to be terrible because Chris is a crybaby.
That wasn't my dad, by the way, soccer daddy. That wasn't Mini Chris either. So let's bring up the starting lineup, Danny.
Oh shit! I think I did do it. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah. So the starting lineup, guys, for those of you on audio, I'll go through it. Dane St. Clair made the start. Whoop-de-doo. That's obvious. I mean, we know Rocco's not going to make the start. Back four was from left to right, Noah Allen, Mikael, Maxi Falcone, and then Facundo Mura making the start at right back instead of Frey. Frey's on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the double pivot with Yannick Bright and RDP. And then sort of like a left. It was weird, the structure. You have pictured Segovia at left wing or left mid, Allende right wing or right mid, and then at the top you have Beterame and Messi. Now, starting the game, I saw Beterame a little further left than I felt comfortable with. I don't know if that's what you saw, but that's what I saw. And Abetico, this is the second time he's brought it up. Only 4 likes, guys. Wake up.
No, I saw Messi dropping really far back to retrieve the ball. I felt like he was playing almost like that false 9 role next to Berterame, which was playing a traditional forward role. He was drifting off to the left, but I didn't think he was playing out at the wing at all. And then I put Segovia there as a left mid, technically, in the 4-4-2. But I felt like Segovia was playing more that left channel. He was playing a little more central. And they were giving Noah Allen a lot of opportunities to kind of play that real Jordi Alba role, which unfortunately he can't do what Jordi Alba did. But they were giving him that responsibility. They had, like I said, Segovia playing more of that left channel. He was more towards the center on that left side. And there were moments where Messi was looking for that Alba run from Noah Allen, and Noah Allen tempted him, but the timing was just off. And I won't even fault Allen that much because like the timing between Messi and Alba was just so effortless. Like they had done it for over 10 years together. That because there's this big shoes to fill for Noah Allen, and unfortunately he doesn't have that in his game just quite yet. But you could see that he was attempting it. It just wasn't working out. But he was pushing up very high, and that obviously left us wide open for a lot of counterattacks the other way.
But this is what I saw. Bluer Face is saying, nah, but that I played a lot left side run when Segovia dropped to get the ball. I thought that it was really clogged on the left because you had Noah Allen pushing up. Like purposely, Facundo Mura wasn't pushing up on the right. And then on top of that, in between Allen, after Allen, you had Segovia floating somewhere in that region. And then Beterame just awkwardly up there, like in Silvetti land.
But the thing is, look,
I just didn't like it. I wanted Beterame more centrally, waiting for striker blasts.
Right, but the thing is, when you're playing against a low block, you have no space to go anywhere. You have to kind of try to find the ball out wide because that's the only space that you're given. So that's why Berterame wasn't in the box waiting for anything because there's nowhere to get him the ball. So he did look like a ghost because he had look when you are a poacher striker, when that is what you do, when you are a finisher that kind of works off of service, which is what Berterame is, or at least what we've told he is, and what we've seen technically up until now, and you're playing against a low block, you're gonna have a hard time contributing to the team, which you saw in the first half.
But it's weird because like this comment comes up. M. Garcia saying game change after Allen sub. Guy has no idea how to play offense. In the beginning of the game, I mean, you guys saw it. Like in the first 5-7 minutes, maybe 10, Noah Allen was pushing up there. He was part of the offensive attack. Now, obviously, if you're part of the offensive attack, you got to haul ass back on defense. And I felt like Dorsey was like looking like an all-star on that side.
Because he had a lot of room to run into.
Yes. And that's a big body.
Look,
That's a big body to a Noah Allen.
Can I just... I'll address the comment that said game changed when Allen came off. Yes. And
obviously.
No. Yes, because you're right. Noah Allen cannot contribute in the attack.
Yeah.
But who took over that left back position when Noah Allen left? Mikael. Did he contribute in the attack? No. He wasn't given the responsibility that Noah Allen was given. The difference was that when Noah Allen came off, they put Silvetti there, and he was given the task to kind of contribute in the left side, which he does, obviously, right? The whole preseason, we were saying, please put him on the left, keep him on the left. And that's where he is best. So, yes, Noah Allen obviously cannot contribute in the attack. Right? Like, we know that. But, and yes, it changed because they put in Silvetti, but I wouldn't say it changed because they put in Silvetti in and they took Noah Allen out, because I don't think that Mikael gave you on the attack something that Noah Allen didn't. I think just that putting in Silvetti was the right move.
Well, putting in Silvetti was the only move, because at this point you got to flip the script and just go balls deep. You got to play full-blown offense at this point. Like, your defense isn't cutting it. You might as well just work with bare bones back there and just let your best offensive players win the game
attack?
For you.
Bigote, you thought he did more in the attack?
No way, Bigote.
No. And then if you say defensively he did more, well, I mean, he was staying back to defend.
Yeah,
Noah Allen was pushing up high. So he was retreating most of the time, trying to get back into defensive positioning. So I think that to compare Noah Allen's first half to Mikael's second half at left back, I think is unfair, because they were given two completely different responsibilities.
And then on top of that, you didn't have Segovia on the left either. You had Beterame that was more centrally. You had Beterame more to the top centrally. He wasn't occupying that left side as well. So you're talking about making the difference and opening up the space for a player like Silvetti who can own that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Do you want to run through the game, Chris?
Well, I mean, if running through the game, literally, that was sort of the beginnings of the 10 minutes, 15 minutes where you saw a little bit more Noah Allen over on the left side. I didn't see Facundo Mura pushing up too high on the right side, so they kind of limited him and his capability. But then we get to the 18th minute where Orlando City ends up scoring their first goal. So Pasalic ends up scoring. Bad turnover by Rodrigo de Paul. And at this point, what ends up happening is a beautiful assist by Angulo. And looking at the replay, I thought that Dane St. Clair, he should have stopped that.
He should have. He got two hands on it. He could have kept that out.
I thought he should have stopped. Because if you notice on the attack, I mean, we're talking about Angulo ended up crossing it to the other side, and then Pasalic ended up catching it. Now, a lot of people were saying it's Noah Allen's fault. Oh, you know what? That's what I forgot to do. I was going to send some pictures.
Well, real quick. Suresh. All right. Well, he said DePaul's not that great. I thought this was probably DePaul's best game since being an Inter Miami player. Since being an Inter Miami player, I thought this was by far and away his best game. He had that giveaway, which sucks, because I felt like that kind of tarnished such a good game. But I thought that this was far and away Rodrigo de Paul's best game as an Inter Miami player.
Mr. Krabs with a great comment. Where's Andy Crims? Hold this L, you loser.
He was waiting in here until they tied the game. I'm sure he was really excited to come on.
Danny, I have a question about what you just said. Mm-hmm. Is the fact that you just said this is probably RDP's best game in an Inter Miami kit, that doesn't bother you a little bit? Doesn't bother you just a little bit?
But remember, we were saying that last year we gave him a pass because he was playing next to Busquets, so it kind of felt like it was two players playing the same position. We're like, let's see what he does this year. This is game number 2. And he had the best game since he's been an Inter Miami player. That's a positive side, in my opinion.
Is it really positive?
I think he was the best player on the pitch today. I mean, outside of Messi, of course, but I think he was the best.
Okay.
I think he was the best. I thought he had an amazing game. He was pulling the strings in that midfield.
Yeah.
He was making all the passes into the final third. He was hustling. Now, like I said, unfortunately, that giveaway for that first goal is what a lot of people are going to remember. But if you watch that game, I felt like he was pulling all the strings. And this was, to me, in my opinion, the best game RDP's played since being an Inter Miami player.
I don't know how comfortable it is to digest that.
I thought he had an amazing game.
I'm not saying he didn't have a good game. I'm just saying that for a player of his stature, it's kind of it's not comforting to say that at this point in his time with the team.
The Paul's giveaway is Mura's mistake. I don't know. I think he underestimated Angulo's speed because Angulo's fast as shit, and he shut that pass down quickly. He intercepted it, and I think that it was more that than anything, because I don't think he expected Angulo to get there so fast. Still his mistake, in my opinion, though.
And RDP played a good game. That was a giveaway from RDP.
I thought he played a great game. I was really happy with what I saw today from him. That was the one highlight when I was talking. Again, I'm sorry I keep bringing it up, but because I wish I would have done the halftime show on our channel. During halftime, that's what I kept bringing up on Will's show. RDP's playing amazing. Gave away the goal, but he had an amazing first half, and he continued it in the second half, in my opinion.
Well, in the second half, he worked well. He did very well in the second half. In the first half, I felt like he played after the turnover. Obviously, a turnover like that leading to a goal is pretty bonkers. But after that, he did pretty well. Suresh is saying RDP remote desktop protocol. What?
I thought he did a great job.
Now, that was the first goal, Danny. Did you think that there was anything else that was wrong with the first goal other than maybe Dane St. Clair should have stopped it, or do you think maybe defensively we just
I thought that was on St. Clair. I thought St. Clair got two hands on it and couldn't keep it out. I thought that was on St. Clair, obviously on DePaul for underestimating Angulo's speed. I thought that was more or less on RDP and on St. Clair.
Well, the second goal didn't come. Ricky says bad take from Dan. I don't think it's a bad take. I think RDP did have a good game. I mean, we do have to get to Berterame for sure, but I'll mention we didn't wait too long to get scored on. 6 minutes later, we end up getting scored on where, I mean, it seems like Dorsey just runs right through our defense and then passes it over to, I mean, it's a play between him and Martin Ojeda, where Martin Ojeda passes it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought that play was just so beautifully executed. I don't know if I can blame anybody.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but Falcon almost went batshit crazy. He like started jumping, getting super animated. And I thought to myself, what is he getting mad at? Is he getting mad Dane St. Clair didn't block it? Maybe Mikhail didn't step up.
Probably
Noah Allen was far in the back.
All the way. Well, because Dorsey made his way from that left side of the pitch all the way to the center of the pitch, almost unchallenged. And I think that might have been it. But I think everybody was trying to get set up and get in position as he's dribbling. But man, that give and go between him and Ojeda, and the way Ojeda kind of hit it with the outside of his foot. I don't know. That one was just, I thought, a beautiful play. Sometimes there's just really good plays, and I thought that was one of them. They didn't have many chances, but they took advantage of the two chances that they had in the first half. But that second one I thought was great.
Soccer Daddy, I take my notes down, but I haven't watched any other podcasts yet, so just wait for that. Okay. And but I did have notes and I took pictures because I wanted to bring them on here, but I forgot to upload it. But the one thing that I noticed is that Noah Allen was chasing Dorsey, came back late, and then he was so far back on the defensive line. I thought that maybe Falcon was upset because he didn't step up, or Mikhail didn't step up, because I felt like Maxi Falcon played it as best as he could in that instance.
I don't know if if you remember, but the last time I put up the heat map, we
Do
got
you
in
have
trouble.
it?
I have
Oh,
it, but we got
yes,
in
that's
trouble
right.
last time.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah, we
But
did.
yes,
We did.
so we stopped putting up that heat map.
Uh, I I don't know what to tell you guys. We got scored on 2 times within 25 minutes. I couldn't believe it. I was standing up and I'm like, it's 25 minutes in the game. We're down 2-0.
At that point, what are you thinking?
I mean, I jumped on Discord. My son was like, "Let me see what's happening on your Discord." And he jumped on Discord and he's like, "Everybody's going fucking bananas." And I was, I mean, listen, I
I
was
have to
going
go back
bananas
and just
too.
gonna scroll up to see. But
Oh my god, it was I put up a picture of just throwing a grenade and just letting it explode. Like it was a disaster on there. I mean, I thought it was awesome, but
well, after those
I
first
didn't
2
feel
goals, you
good.
know that they were just gonna lock it down defensively, and despite them locking it down defensively, Miami was still getting opportunities, and Crepeau came up with some great saves. I remember one of the things I thought after the first half is like, oof, if Jesse Marsh, the Canada coach, is watching, St. Clair, you might be seeing your starting job being taken away live right now. Because Crepeau was
Yeah.
having himself one hell of a first half, and St. Clair had that blunder on that first goal. I thought that if Crepeau doesn't stand on his head in the first half, that game goes into halftime, probably tied 2-2.
No, Crepeau had the game of his. Listen,
Just the
Crepeau
first
last
half,
game
yeah. Well,
was
11
upside
saves
down.
against. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then this game in the first half looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
If the guy that's scouting or like from the Canada team watching in Orlando left at the halftime, Crepeau's goalkeeper for the World Cup this year. So hopefully he stayed there after the fact because Dane St. Clair actually had like a block or two that were like pretty big in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, after those 2 goals, you have a couple yellow cards. At that point, halftime hits. It's 2-0, Danny, and you're doing the show at will. How was it?
Like I was telling him that I thought it was a pretty decent half, which I think took the chat and him off guard. But I thought that it was a decent. Look, they have a hard time breaking down a low block. They still weren't going wide because Allen couldn't get wide, and they were still finding opportunities. So I thought, man, this is much better than what we saw. Last week against LAFC when we couldn't break down that low block. Much better. So
we managed a lot better in that.
Yeah. So I thought that was good. Crepeau came up with some timely blocks, which could have led us 2-2 at halftime. And then they had 2 opportunities. So it's not like they were just killing our defense. They had 2 opportunities. They took advantage of both. St. Clair probably should have had that first block. And it was a bad giveaway by DePaul. So I thought that Miami had a better first half. I mean, obviously, what matters is the final score, right? So you're losing 2-0. You're losing 2-0. There's nothing else you can say about it. But I thought without the score, just watching the gameplay on the pitch, I thought Miami had the better first half.
Not only were they sitting back in the low block, but they also had an extra defender in Elfath, the referee, who was just in the way of everything. Like, Inter Miami was trying to find holes and trying to find gaps. Referee couldn't find his way out of the madness. Like, that was a disaster. I don't like too much to do the whole referee thing, but this guy, Elfath, was literally in the middle of plays.
We don't like to
I know
do
you're
that
not a
XG
referee
thing.
guy.
We don't like to do that XG thing too much, right? But sometimes, it tells you a kind of a story. So at halftime, if you look at the XG, which means like the way the game played out, the expected goals, like the way it's playing out, this is how many goals each team should have scored. Miami, 1.38, right? So they should have scored more than at least 1 goal.
Yeah.
Orlando, 0.26. Miami had a better first half. Yeah. But going down 2-0 at halftime, I'm 100% sure that everybody was really pissed off. And understandably so, because no matter how good you play, if you're losing in the score, you lose the game. I get it. But it was halftime, and I felt like Miami was playing better. I thought that they would leave the game with at least a draw.
And Xavier is saying, sorry, I'm late that I missed the poll. We did the poll, right?
What poll?
I mean, he's probably waiting for the goalkeeper poll. The goal poll. The goal poll.
Why? Because
that's what we're going to call it from now on, guys. The goal poll. So that's the first half, Danny.
Right. And then he said, XG, are you kidding me? No one cares. I understand. Josh.
I think XG is kind of garbage, to be honest.
I know, and that's why we never bring it up on the show. But what I was trying to explain is obviously they had 2 opportunities and they scored on those 2 opportunities. That's fine. But outside of those 2 opportunities, Miami had the better first half. That's what I was saying. But they took advantage of the 2 opportunities, and Kripo kept Miami's opportunities out. And ultimately, that's the difference. But when you just take a step back and just look at what team is playing better, Miami, I thought, had a better first half. That's all.
So are we moving on to the second half then?
Sure. What are you thinking at halftime?
I mean, in halftime, I was shitting my pants. I thought we were going to still get a couple goals, but with the way that things were looking defensively, we weren't great. And I wasn't.
So? They only had 2 opportunities the first half.
Yeah, no, but
one of them came off of a bad turnover.
No, but listen, but you're talking about a bad turnover off of a player that you don't anticipate to have those kind of plays.
But he had a great game otherwise.
Well, luckily it didn't happen, but I obviously was a little nervous against our in-state rival, they were playing out of their minds today. And they were playing pretty aggressive as well. So, but you were not scathed. You were fine.
Mm-hmm.
You said we were going to score 2 goals and walk away with a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's this actual score came closer to what I predicted. It was 4-2. I think I predicted 4-1.
I
believe I predicted a 4-1.
I know you predicted a win. I don't remember what you predicted. I predicted a 3-0 win.
Yeah. So, starting off the second half, then
hold on. Ricky, what have I said that you disagree with?
Ricky,
you thought Orlando was the better team in the first half? You thought they had a good first half, or was it you thought Rodrigo DePaul had a bad game? Because because you keep saying that you disagree with me, but I'm not sure what exactly you disagree with me about.
Why don't you put a poll? Did RDP have a good game?
Is that what it is that he disagrees with me about?
I think that's what people are disagreeing with. Look, okay. Rick A is just saying blanketly yes.
Okay, I'll put up the poll.
So I think, and yeah, Rick A is saying not a great game. So
not a great game because they allowed those 2 goals, obviously. But I thought that they played better than Orlando.
Garth is asking where is Suarez, who was not on the bench. He actually got an injury reported, so he didn't travel. He wasn't on the bench. So, and this is going to be an interesting poll because there's some people that were not happy with his performance.
Well, all right. So I got the poll up while you get to the second half, and I'm going to keep it in my because I unfortunately didn't have a chance to do it because they kept scoring, so I had to keep updating the background. Go ahead.
Well, RDP, we'll find out about the poll shortly. We'll let you guys take a little bit to make a vote there. And make sure your vote counts because Danny's 4 votes off of 4 accounts ended up flipping the Rocco Blocco and Dane St. Clair poll. Matteo Silvetti comes in for Noah Allen, right, starting off the second half, makes immediate impact. Matteo Silvetti scores at the 49th minute, and I love the way that goal happened because, like, he just doesn't care. Matteo Silvetti's just going to lock it in from anywhere. And he ends up, I mean, you could see by the way that he was kicking the ball, he just loaded it up and just banged it.
Yes. I thought that Silvetti did a great job as soon as he came in. We've been asking for him to be played on the left, right? Yeah. And then as soon as he got the ball, the second half started kind of weird, right? It looked like they were kind of like, I don't know, all over the place the first couple minutes. But as soon as Silvetti was given the ball, and he had a chance to progress the ball, he kind of sucked some of that pressure that was in the middle of the pitch, just compact, just waiting for everybody to play up the middle. Kind of sucked it out, and then he started crossing the ball. He changed the game by playing out wide, like legit playing wide.
Yeah.
And it kind of opened up space at the top of the box, and just in the box in general, everybody had more opportunities to make runs. And in the Lincoln play, well, I guess we'll get into that with the second goal, but Segovia, another person that had a great game, that is so underappreciated by so many people.
Yes. He's a fantastic player. And I can't wait to get to some of these comments here. It's going to be fantastic.
And then my take, Danny, was that it was a good game. First of all, I don't think you said good game. You were asking what game I was watching when I first started with good game. He did not play his life away. This was his best, greatest game. I said the best game since he's been an Inter Miami player. And I stand by that. And, you know, some people might say it was the MLS Cup final because he scored, right? So everybody remembers the goals. I think that I've never seen him manage the midfield like I saw today. Like today, he was pulling the strings. I thought that this is by far and away the best I've seen him in Inter Miami.
Oh, I love this nickname.
Miami.
Golasco Segovia, Rick A. That is a banger of a nickname. Golasco Segovia.
All right, and then I just put up the poll: best RDP game as an Inter Miami player, because that's what I think Rick wanted me to ask. I apologize for asking the wrong question the first time. All right, so yes, Silvetti, I thought made, of course, that was the difference of the game, and you have to give credit to Mascherano. That was one question that Will asked me. He's like, hey, if you guys lose this game and then you guys lose 2 or 3 more, does Mascherano lose his job? I said, well, who the hell gets hired if he loses his job? But Mascherano has grown into this.
Soccer Daddy bringing up a Mascherano quote here from the interview, I guess, post-game, says they played the second half like a champion team. The victory belongs entirely to the players. He believes he made a mistake with the lineup and should have changed it.
You can't give Noah Allen that responsibility of contributing the attack. That's not him.
Well, he's just not Jordi Alba. And I think, unfortunately, for better or for worse, for a player like Noah Allen having to stack up to a player like Jordi Alba who played his position, I think it's going to be rough. I think it's going to be very rough. Now, after that goal, we move on to the second goal that the people in pink scored, Danny. And that was your boy Lionel Messi ends up scoring a beautiful banger with the left foot. And Segovia sort of, I guess, left it out for him, was going to take it. And he ends up just scoring a beauty. And I mean, I couldn't believe that in that traffic, he was able to get it past everybody into the goal.
Well, not just that. They kept the ball on top of that box, passing it between each other.
Like 5 minutes.
4 or 5 or 6 times, 6 touches.
Yeah.
Back and forth. The way that they were handling that press and until they found an opening, I thought it was amazing. Great job by Segovia. Leaving it off for Messi because it looked like he was cocking back to let that thing fly. And then he saw Messi coming. He's like, no, you know what? Let's let Messi take over. Beautiful pass, far post. Crepeau can't get it. Messi magic. Game's tied. 55. What was the minute? It was 55th minute?
It was in the 57th minute.
At that point, I'm like, oh my God. I was predicting that they would tie the game. We have over half an hour to win. I was like, we might win this game. We might win this game. That's what I was thinking at that point.
Well, that got us the tie. I'm sure that at that point, we already know that the tide is turning. And obviously, I imagine all of Inter Miami fandom to say, we're locking this up. We're walking away with a dub.
Yeah, I'm sure most people were feeling that way at that point.
Now, we ended up scoring later on in the game, 85th minute. And this was Telasco Segovia. Now, at this point, he ends up, I guess, picking up just a roller in the middle of the box and doing Segovia kind of things. Just lets it come up to him and then bangs it into the freaking back of the net. It was a beautiful goal. I knew that Segovia was gonna score that. That's like his type of goals.
Well, I just love Segovia just in general getting that opportunity because I felt like Segovia had an underrated game. Because look, up until now we bring this up. I mean, I know somebody mentioned it, like the I forget what name they gave him, but I felt like if he didn't score that game, he would kind of go underappreciated this game
Golasco
because
Segovia.
I thought that he had a good game also. He was manning that left channel, and he was manning that left channel, and I thought he was doing a good job. Like, he doesn't go out wide. They were giving him the opportunity to play out more centrally. I thought that it was a good game by him, and good stuff in general.
So Idiot is saying the Segovia goal is a Messi assist. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it credited to him. Maybe it is. But I do see that it sort of bobbled over towards him. I don't know if maybe Messi was going to try to get a shot off, but I know that Segovia ended up just blasting it. And then Messi ends up getting a goal later on.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go over the goal, but before I go over the goal, I'm kind of bothered that they gave a red card to Collins Gusky
In the first half. He trucked my Messi from behind.
Oh yeah,
and I believe he didn't even get a card for it, but he purposely, I felt like, checked him in the back. And I was like, wow, this guy, all right, like he went kind of aggressive there.
But I didn't like that he got the yellow card that led him to the red card, because I felt like that was a recipe for disaster, and that Orlando fans are just going to toss it up and say, "Oh, the refs were against us." That's every Orlando podcast, by the way, guys. Every Orlando podcast right now is going to tell you that the game was fixed.
Look,
even though your boy Elfath was the 12th man for Orlando in the first half.
We knew that was going to happen. I mean, but it's nice to see that, for example, Son is getting the same treatment over there in LAFC, right? You saw that straight red that they gave him? Yes. We're going to go over that tomorrow night for our Battered Soccer Fan Show when we go over match day 2, because
I was bleeding.
Was he bleeding?
Yeah, there's pictures online. Son had a gash on the back of his ankle.
Bleeding. I didn't think that was a straight red, but whatever.
I didn't think it was a red either, but he did get hit by the cleat.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a straight red, Jack Hart. I'm saying that because it was the second yellow, it turned into a red. They got him off the pitch. But what I'm saying is, I didn't want him to get the yellow. I didn't want him to get
Orlando
off the...
to have chances.
I don't want
shit.
Correct, because that automatically is going to give them, well, we were given a red card. One of our players got a red card, and that's everything was cooked for Messi. You know. Now, I was just super happy that Messi ended up scoring, but then Messi just puts the icing on the cake right after that foul, and left-footed low kick right under Crepeau, which he should have blocked that, by the way. He should have blocked that.
What are you talking about? The Crepeau?
The free kick?
Nah.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
I think the free kick, he should have blocked it. And then on top of that, the greatest celebrate, like that has to, we're putting that on a shirt, right? Inter Miami celebrating in front of the wall.
Hey, idiot I6X.
I just clarified.
We were talking about the Sun or straight red yesterday. Idiot I6X.
We're putting that celebration on a shirt, right? Messi like running up with his arms out to the Orlando wall. Like that's going on a shirt. That has to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best. I think everybody who is a Messi fan, Inter Miami fan, shout out to you, Tom Megan.
Hey, you must listen to audio only. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. How surprised are you at how we look? Because I'm kind of curious. Like somebody that listens to us after a couple shows, like I wonder what they imagine that we look like. You think I'm like a white guy or something?
I mean, I think we look like how we sound.
Nah, no
That's
way.
a good question. Do we look like how we sound?
I'm curious. We're very
but
curious.
But then how would my voice look like? I can't even imagine.
Well, I'm
like,
sure
we can't do that.
That some of the chat has made fun of some stuff about you, like, not running and stuff. So I'm sure he has some preconceived notions.
Well, I mean, obviously, he probably thinks I'm a house. But little did he know I'm just a townhouse. Okay.
Yep. All right. Oh shit! I forgot to check the poll.
Guys,
the poll.
the political stuff, cut it out here, guys. We're not doing political talk. If we ever do a political talk show, we'll let you guys know. Cut the political stuff out, guys.
So over 120 votes. Yes, this was RDP's best game as an Inter Miami player. 58% say yes.
Wow.
So,
you see Stancy, and Stancy's like the even keel reasonable one here. Danny says we look as expected. Look at that. T Falves says we look how we sound.
Yeah. Are you done going over the game?
Well, I mean, after the Messi goal, and he just poo-poos on Orlando and celebrates in their face, and then he walks up to the bench and does like a signing thing. I don't know if he's talking shit to the bench about signing their jerseys.
Sam Haji, we're gonna have to block you if you keep going with that stuff. You can go.
Yeah, come on, Sam Haj.
All right. So I'm gonna bring on Will from MLS Moves. Like I said, I was on his halftime show. He can go ahead and do the superlatives with us here at the end of the show. What's going on, Will? How are you doing, sir?
Not too good. I mean, my voice is absolutely cooked, man. 2 watch-alongs in a row, 2 post games. I mean, it starts adding up.
2 watch-alongs. What other watch-along did you do today?
I did LAFC last night. No, I did LAFC last night.
Like today.
No. 2 days in a row. But I mean, hell, it adds up, man. 2 hours, talking by yourself. But man, what a game. That was incredible, guys. I mean, you called it. You said you thought they were going to be able to have a comeback in the second half, but you thought it was going to be a draw. But still, I thought it was bleak. But my God, what an incredible game.
Look, Lauren's saying that you look more excited than we do.
I'm pretty excited.
I was excited, man. I mean, that was a good game. It was just like, I mean, how could you not be excited when someone scores 4 goals in a half?
I think that this is an awesome game for like a person that's just getting into the MLS to watch. It was an entertaining game, and it was like at the edge of your seat sort of stuff.
No, it was for sure. The first half obviously was really bad, and then the second half they woke up. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you guys are watching the halftime show, me and Danny, I was talking crazy, man. I was like, man, if they lose, the rest of their road games, are they gonna fire Mascherano? Like I was like, because it was looking bad. I mean, they were -5 goal difference the first 3 halves of their games in the regular season. It was looking really, really bad. And then they just woke the demon up in the second half.
And I know that everybody was talking like that in the first half, but when I went on your halftime, I told you I thought that they had a good half.
Yeah.
Like they were down 2-0, but I thought that they played much better than last week. That's why I was hopeful that they would draw, because I thought they had a good half. It's just that Orlando had 2 opportunities and they converted both. And Crepeau saved some good chances by Miami. And Rodrigo De Paul, I thought, was surprised the hell out of me because I haven't seen him play like that. I thought he had a great first half, outside of the giveaway, obviously. And in the second half, I think he continued.
Danny, I have a question. If we would have lost, would it have been justifiable for the fan base to be completely apeshit?
No.
To Orlando?
No. It's 2 games in.
I'm just saying, so no, there's no right. There's no justification.
I didn't think so. No. I thought that if they lost, the way the first half went, at least, if they would have lost 2-0, 2-1, the way the first half goes, and if the second half would have gone the same, I don't think that it would have. Now, do I think that the chat agrees with me? No. You guys are a bunch of overreactors. So, no, I'm 100% sure that I would have been the voice of reason and everybody would have been up in arms. And that's fine. I get it, right? You guys are very emotional. I try to stay pragmatic with the way I look at the games. And the way that they were playing was better than last week.
They're very sane in the chat, okay?
No, they're not.
Show some respect. Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They're overly emotional. If they lose today, and they would have been, oh my God, it would have been like the worst thing in the world. And they would have beat DC next week. Then they would have beat Nashville leg 1. And they're like, oh my God, Miami's amazing. And then it goes back and forth always. It all depends on the result.
I don't know, man. I mean, listen, if they lost this game and they didn't score, I feel like that is kind of somewhat, time to hit the panic button, because you're going 2 games without scoring and you spent all this money, to be outscored 5-0 in your first 2 games. That would have been, I think, bad. Even if they got the draw or the win, I think they were good. Especially because they were down. But I mean, this team, it's like I said, they woke the demon up in the second half, and this is the team that we expected to see maybe even last week, right? I know that you think they played good, Danny, but the results didn't show that they were good. I think that they played
last week. No, last week I didn't think they played good.
well, I thought they played okay in the first half, but well, maybe it was the second half. They had like a 20-minute spurt in the second half where they were like a little bit more energetic.
But that's because LAFC was allowing them to hold the ball. So it looked like they were creating more opportunities, right? Like we had this debate on the show last week. Well, it was really me and Chris against the chat, really, where everybody's like, oh, Mura played so much better than Frey in the attack. I was like, yeah, because they allowed Mura time to hold the ball because they were playing the low block, whereas in the first half, they weren't. Frey was on his heels trying to defend Bologna the whole game. I mean, the whole first half. So I felt like last week it was two different teams that they played. They played LAFC in the first half, and then they played Dolo LAFC in the second half. And I felt like that was the difference last week.
Well, let me ask you guys this question: is there anybody in this lineup today? Because we saw a completely different team when Salvetti came in. Is there anybody that you think didn't deserve to be in the starting 11 today?
That's a good question.
I thought that putting in Segovia instead of Silvetti was a mistake, even though Segovia ended up having a pretty good game, I thought. But I think that Silvetti needs to be out wide for this team to work. And when Segovia plays, you're not going to get that wide play. So although I like Segovia, I thought that was a mistake.
I'll probably okay, sorry. Rick A with the Super Slam here says, do you think, Will, it was a good first half?
No, because they were doing, and I talked to Danny about this at halftime, they were doing what got them in trouble last year where they were playing through the middle too much and they weren't playing out wide and it just wasn't working. So, no, I don't think they had a good first half. I don't think they had as bad of a first half. Kind of like Danny said, Orlando just made the most of their chances. They scored two really good chances.
Miami I'm sorry to cut you off, Will. I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You said that it didn't work when they were putting up the middle. It didn't work because Crampon made some great saves, but they had some good opportunities despite forcing it up the middle. You were the one that showed me the XG. I just got killed on our show earlier because I brought up the XG that you told me about. But you brought it up when we were in halftime. Miami above 1. Orlando like 0.2. Miami had a better first half.
Yeah. I mean, I think they didn't have a bad first half, but I don't think they had a good first half because we saw the second half. That was a great half. Like there's just a difference. Yes. There's layers to this, right?
Phenomenal.
And so I don't think they had a good half, but I don't think they had a bad half. Orlando just made more of their opportunities.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not expressing myself correctly. I said it was a decent half compared to last week against LAFC.
Yeah.
When I went on your show, I said compared to last week, I'm actually happy. This is a positive step forward.
Yes.
Yeah, losing by 2 it sucks, but this is a positive step forward from last week because we were creating opportunities despite having to play against a low block.
And I think it's a weird question, Will, that you're asking because there's only a couple ways you can go. You can either go Segovia, Noah Allen, Facundo Mura. After that, everybody else is kind of like untouchable in terms of like the starting lineup. And it's only because there's so much competition at the right back where you can go Facundo Mura and then Noah Allen just because the inconsistencies of him and his performance, it's pretty glaring.
Yeah, I want to see, condolences I mentioned earlier to David Ayala on the passing of his dad. I want to see what he looks like again next to Rodrigo De Paul. And I agree completely about De Paul having the best game he's had since he's been a Miami player. People were saying he was playing terribly outside of the one giveaway that led to the goal. I don't understand what the hell they were watching. I thought he was good, very active. He was pulling the strings. He was good defensively. He looked like calm and like kind of he almost gave like that composure that Busquets gave you, like, we're calm, collected. So I thought that was nice, but yeah, I thought he was good, man. I don't understand why people think he was bad. I thought Noah Allen was the worst player for Inter Miami. Dane St. Clair was bad, but he rebounded in the second half. I thought Noah Allen was terrible.
Well, I guess we can go over that, Danny. I mean,
sorry, I didn't mean that.
No. Can I ask before you go over it, Chris, real quick? Will, was he bad because of his lack of effectiveness in the attack? Because
Noah Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
think it's more. Yeah, he doesn't really give you much in the attack compared to what we're used to seeing. But I
Mhm.
don't think he's good enough as a defender to where it kind of makes up for that lack of attack.
But he was pushing up so much. They gave him so much responsibility to contribute in the attack today that he ended up out of position time after time. Whereas in Silvetti came in and saved the day, but he wasn't given that responsibility. They just told him, "Hey, you stay up top and you help attack." I thought Noah Allen was put in a crappy situation because he was never gonna look good in the position that they put him in.
Yeah, I think that he's struggled, and I don't think he's meant to be the starter, obviously. And I said he was so comfortable playing center back last year. I don't think he's transitioned back to playing fullback effectively this season. I'm very curious to see what that looks like when Reguilon comes back from injury, how much different he looks in the attack. But I thought Allen was the worst. Dane Sinclair was second closest, which I don't want to, I know you guys do your worst players. I forgot what you call it, but I thought that Allen was the worst player. But Dane Sinclair was bad too, but he redeemed himself in the second half.
Well, and look at this, Danny. I mean, this is the vibe on Mura. Thomas Fibbett said Mura was good, and then literally 2 seconds later, Mick says Mura is so bad. And a lot of people are saying,
I didn't even notice Mura, to be honest.
I mean, that's not good because that's your boy that's supposed to be stealing Ian Frey's job.
Well, I don't know why you're putting that on me, but sure.
Well, that is on you, completely on you. You're part of the Mura Secret Service clubhouse.
You remember
fan base.
my bold prediction was that Frey would win the job off of him by the end of the year. Why do we forget
I
things?
feel like you secretly have like a Facundo Mura shrine in your closet.
All right.
He does.
I think
we'll have to confirm with his wife.
Yep.
I'm on it.
All right. Standouts. Chris, who stood out to you in a positive light today?
Segovia stood out to me in a positive light. Yannick Bright stood out to me because he played phenomenally on defense, and he had to play center back, and he made progressive passes. For those of you that don't got ball knowledge like I do, because I got notes. You guys claim I don't got ball knowledge. Yannick Bright, how about that? He was like the best player in the first half. Okay.
Will, standout.
I'm gonna be different. I'm not gonna say Messi, or I'm not gonna steal.
This is a man of the match.
Don't give us big. Don't give us the top dogs. Give us the medium dogs.
Okay. I think it has to be Silvetti because when he came in, that's when things changed.
Yep.
As soon as he came in, he scored that goal in the 49th minute, and everything was different from that point forward. So I think you have to give it to Segovia because he's the one difference from the first the first half starting 11 to the second half starting 11.
I'm going to say Mikhail. I thought Mikhail had another solid game like last week. And in the second half, he was asked to kind of hold down that left side, which I don't know if I've ever seen him do that. I don't know if he's done that before. I thought he was put in a weird position, and I thought he did well anyway. So I'm going to say Mikhail.
This is a great comment by Alex that Noah Allen put a great ball in the middle of the box, and nobody was there to greet it.
All right, so Que Pena Award. Will, I know that you don't speak much Spanish. Que Pena means how embarrassing. This is the Que Pena Award. Worst performance of the day. Will, I'll let you start it off. Who do you think was the worst performance of the day?
Noah Allen. I thought he looked lost. I don't think he played well in the attack. He just really didn't do much for this team. And like I said, he's very subpar as a defender. So at that point, you're kind of like, what is this guy giving me on this team? So I'm going to be curious to see what they do against DC United. If I'm not mistaken, they play DC United first, right? Before they play Nashville SC. I'm going to be curious to see what Mascherano does going to that game because he can't start Allen. He's just not good enough, man. He's just not good enough.
I think he will start. He just will start Silvetti in front of him, so he doesn't have that responsibility of going up. But we'll talk about that this week.
Mike Pena is going to go to someone that I think systematically did bad. And I feel like if he was playing at his actual top position, that he would have had a little bit more success. And it's Beterame. I think the first half was hampering for him. To have to be sort of on the left wing or the left side of the pitch, like that was killer. I thought that Beterame should get, and I would have gone with Noah Allen, but just to kind of mix it up a little bit, I'm going to go with Beterame.
I didn't think you were going to go Berterame because that's where I was going to go. So let me see. You took Berterame.
I mean, I can go somewhere else if you want, and then you could talk about Beterame.
No.
I'll just go Dane St. Clair if you want. I'll just bring the pain and get everybody with their torch sticks.
You getting the Rocco crowd going?
Oh my gosh, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't mentioned his name. He who shall not be named.
I thought Allende made some decent runs, but I guess if I have to pick somebody else, I thought everybody had a pretty decent game. I guess I'll say Allende. Allende had his disappearing moments. He had his opportunities where he kind of passed it to the keeper instead of shooting it at the keeper. You know, I haven't seen the playoff Allende yet, but again, against a low block, I feel like Allende is often kind of useless because he doesn't have many opportunities to run in behind, and the few opportunities that he did have, he didn't do much with them. So I didn't think he had a horrible game, but it wasn't a great game or a good game even. It was just a blah game. So I'll just go with Allende for que pena. All right, man of the match.
Can I mention? Wait, before we get to that, because I want to clarify something with Beterame. Right, Leo is saying Beterame work rate is good. Are you blind? He did know number 9 rule perfect. Right, so hold on, let me keep going because somebody else is destroying me too. Lee Scott says Beterame set up that third goal. What the heck, guys? So, and I'm not saying that he was a bad player. I'm saying systematically for the position that he played, I think the first half kind of killed him. So, and yes, he did help better when he was at the spot where he's supposed to be, not on the left wing.
And when they were playing out wide, so they give him space to work in the box, right?
Yes.
A man of the match other than Messi, I'll start just because I have to step away for a minute. Man of the match other than Messi, Rodrigo de Paul, in my opinion. I said it as soon as I got on here. I said I thought he had the best game since he's been an Inter Miami player, and I'm going to stick with that. So man of the match other than Messi, to me, Rodrigo de Paul, and I'll be right back.
All right, you want to go first, Will?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go with, because we exclude Messi from this because we know where the crowd's going, right?
Yes.
I think, like I said earlier, it's got to be Silvetti, man. He came in, he immediately made an impact out wide. He scored that goal in the 49th minute, and you know what was very impressive, Chris, is Matteo Silvetti was a guy that I was so high on last year because he was very critical for the run, right, for the MLS Cup run. But then this preseason, man, he just didn't look like himself. He didn't look as good as he did last year. So he kind of had a lot of weight on his shoulders to come in here to make an impact. And I feel like he lived up to that. And the kid's only like 19 years old still. So people forget that. He's only 19 years old. Came in, made an impact immediately, scored that goal, and changed everything for this team.
Well, I want to mention something because you talked about Silvetti and his impact. And by the way, Q and Do, he's going to get love in a second. But sticking with what Will just mentioned, Silvetti, when we looked at his, I guess, prospect coming this season, he only played like 6-7 games last season. So it's not like there was a big sample size to work with. So we kind of didn't even know what to expect. So I think the fact that you kind of had him high on your chart and you were looking at him very closely, it's pretty good because there's some expectancy there, but at the same time, we didn't know what really to expect on a consistent basis. Now, piggyback to the comment that I just pulled up, I'm going to go with my man of the match other than Messi with Falcone. Falcone was able to help with deflecting a shot, making sure to be able to be there defensively. I thought he was the best center back in the backfield, way better than Mikael, to be perfectly honest, Danny.
I just think we have a good duo. I like the center back duo that they have. So that's only 2 games in. As they get more and more comfortable playing with each other, they're going to look even better. So yeah, I think that we have a solid center back duo for the first time in a while this year.
Can we dedicate a couple minutes to Messi, I guess? This is the first time he ever plays in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Nobody expected him to play. He ended up going there and literally taking over. 2 goals. I believe he had an assist. At least that's what supposedly is statted. I mean, what an impact. First time ever in Orlando. Got our first win ever in franchise history at Orlando. I mean, as an outsider, I guess, Will, what did you think of the impact that he had and how well he played against Orlando?
Well, I think there was a lot of pressure on him because he hadn't played this game before, and which is still crazy to think he's been here since 23, and all these things have happened to where he hasn't played for Orlando. I mean, or against Orlando. It's actually insane. But he stepped up to the occasion. He scored a brace, and I thought it was really cool that he talked his shit to the crowd. Like every time he scored, like he was going over there and talking some crazy stuff. And apparently, I don't know if you saw, someone said that he had asked Oscar Pereira if he wanted to sign ball after the game or during the game or something like that.
The free kick ball that where he scored with.
Yeah. So apparently he went up to the Orlando City's manager and said, "I'll sign it for you."
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy. that's crazy. But only one guy can do something like that, right? So I thought this is a GOAT game. This is what you do when you're the best player of all time. You go to a place where you never played before, where your team's never won before, and you give a crazy performance, memorable. And who knows? This might be the last time he ever plays there. Who knows? Maybe it is. I don't know. First and last.
I mean, there's no reason to play again there this year. I mean, Orlando might not make the playoffs.
They're not going to be seated higher.
And even if they do, they won't have a home game. And then next year, I guess, but it's that shortened season, so I don't know if they'll be playing in Orlando. So just one more chance to play in Orlando, probably.
Is it time for what the fought mob?
Yeah, sure. All right. Will, have you looked at the scores on
I'm
fought
sure.
mob?
Did you look at the fought mob?
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to ask both of you guys. Who do you believe was the highest rated player that did not have a goal or an assist? Because obviously that shoots everybody up. So that did not have a goal or assist, the highest rated player.
So
surprising me, honestly.
Silvetti, Messi, and Segovia are off the board.
Correct.
And I guess I'm gonna go with Yannick Bright.
No.
Highest rated player that didn't score a goal or assist.
No Silvetti. No Messi. No Segovia.
I want to say it was maybe one of the center backs. Was it
Either
Falcone
or Falcone?
Nope. Nope. The highest rated player that did not score or assist was Allende.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What was his score?
7.4.
I just don't think he did much, man. Honestly, that's a crazy score.
Yeah.
Do you think Allende played better than Rodrigo de Paul?
No.
What was Rodrigo de Paul's score?
6.7.
Yeah, see, that's why I can't take it serious, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right. Who was the lowest rated player that just lowest rated player?
I think Will's already knee deep with Noah Allen. So I'll give you another one. I'm gonna go with Mura.
No. Mura was rated the same as Rodrigo de Paul. You're gonna go with Noah Allen, Will?
No, I probably would go with I'd probably go with Dane St. Clair because he conceded 2 goals.
So St. Clair was the lowest. Second lowest, Noah Allen.
Oh shit. Well, so what's the numbers?
So 6.1 for St. Clair, 6.2 for Allen, and then the third lowest is a 3-way tie with Berterame, DePaul, and Mura. So there you go.
Manita out here saying Saint stinks.
Man, look, I try to warn you guys not to expect too much from him, and I'm trying to go the other way because you guys, like I said a couple minutes ago, you guys are one way or the other. Like, find the middle ground. I told you to temper expectations, but give him some time also. He'll be fine. Look, did you think that he played in the second half or even the first half distributing the ball? Did you think it was that bad? There was a ball that he chipped over the defender, over to Mikhail on the left side. Like, he's not doing that bad.
There were times where there was a defender in close proximity, and
you got worried.
I almost do.
But did he mess it up?
No, he didn't.
Okay,
but then there's going to come that time.
Like it happens to a lot of people.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
You're just telling me what? Rocco won't mess that up? Is that what you're telling me?
Look,
That
I
Rocco
didn't
wouldn't
say
make a
that. I
mistake?
haven't brought up his name.
All right, but
I haven't brought up the two
but
times name.
you're inferring when you're like, oh, we'll see when that time.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a
That-
second. You said, Chris, you said that Danny has a shrine of Mora. Do you have a shrine?
He has a tattoo
Of Rocco?
freaking
You got two shrines?
I absolutely do for the two-time champion. Do you guys
He's only
not
won one
get that he is the
championship
two-time back-to-back champion? You don't count USL champions, Phoenix Rising? Put some respect on the man's name, okay?
All right. Will, appreciate you jumping on late to help us with these awards at the end of the show. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, you guys can follow me at MLS Moves. I've got a recap of the game as well. You guys can check out. And I also have a weekly recap I'm dropping tomorrow for the rest of MLS. Appreciate you for coming on at halftime with me. It's always a pleasure to join you guys, and love what you guys are doing.
Appreciate that. How you guys looking at foot mob scores? Oh my god, I don't know. I like it better than SofaScore. I don't know. I've seen SofaScore. I don't like it. I don't like it.
And why is it? I don't want St. Clair to fail, guys. I don't want any of these players to fail.
Oh shit.
Oh,
But we'll just jump up.
Yeah, I don't want any of these players to fail. And St. Clair, I want him to succeed because he is going to grow in this league and grow in his position and possibly play in Europe. And having a player that comes from Inter Miami doing that kind of jump is fantastic.
And shout out to Amy. We are going to do the MLS show. We considered doing it tonight, but it was kind of last minute that we had that conversation. We're possibly moving forward. We're probably going to do our recap Sunday nights, but not tonight. We're going to do our recap of match day 2 tomorrow. So we could talk about that Sun straight card. We'll talk about this game and a lot of other games. There's like a youth movement going on in the MLS right now. A bunch of like 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are balling right now. So we'll be talking about all that tomorrow night after Battered Herons. So make sure that you join us for that, because tomorrow we'll be doing a state of the Herons. We do that once a month, and I think we've seen enough to kind of have a state of the Herons already for the month of March.
Have we?
So episode 499. Wednesday is episode 500.
Oh, Wednesday, awkward.
Well, when would you like it?
I don't know. Just not a Wednesday. Wednesdays are mad Aki.
Okay. All right. Chris, any final words?
No, man. This was a fantastic game. We got to win. That's great. Off to DC.
Poll ratings.
Poll ratings.
Like put
Like
up the
what?
name and then put like a 9, 8, 7, 6, and then everybody can kind of just vote on what the
interesting.
ratings are.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
I
good.
mean, it'll take us a while though, because you have to do one player at a time. We probably have to start it at the start of the show, and then by the end of the show, kind of give all the results, maybe.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Helps us a ton. We've been trying to build the channel, and we keep grinding. So make sure that you do that. Are we battered herons or battered poles?
You don't like the polls, Mr. Krabs. We're trying to make things a little different now, have more involvement than what we do. We're like the most involved podcast, and we want more involved
into that. Look, and shout out to Rick A. Actually, when I made this, it was supposed to be just for the preseason. But I think I've told you guys a bunch, like how our time is kind of like we don't have a lot of time.
We don't got no producers. Like I'm slaving at 3 a.m. doing videos. Danny's slaving doing graphics.
So this was only supposed to be for the preseason. I even wanted to change the actual pictures of the players, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But yes, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try to do that when I get a chance, because I also, like I said, this was only like a preseason type thing. I wanted to change it. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it, Chris. We stayed on a lot longer than we usually do, but it was a fun game. Big win in Orlando. Thank God we get our first win of the year. We're 1-0-1.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead. 275 of you guys, and you guys aren't liked and subbed yet? What's going on here, guys?
AJ, it's 50-50 at this point, but I like the polls. Also, at some point, I'm going to put a hashtag up here. And I don't know what to call it. Maybe the chat can help us. Maybe if you're watching this after the fact, you put it on the comments. A hashtag that supports Chris watching international football. Like, I'll support Chris watching international football, or Chris International.
Oh my God, that's
Chris
way too
Worldwide,
early.
or Worldwide Chris, something. Because we're trying to get Chris to watch a little more global football. So we'll see. All right. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we will be back tomorrow night for episode 499. And shout out to Ron41D, our new member to the channel. If you haven't become a member yet, make sure you join. We have a good time on our shows on Tuesday and Friday mornings. We talk Inter Miami, and we talk not just Inter Miami. We talk about a bunch of stuff. So make sure that you join that if you haven't already. And again, I'll stop rambling. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow night to talk more Inter Miami. So until the next one. Oh, and comment who you want as a guest tomorrow night. Have a good one.